In this webisode of Jobvation, we're talking to Michael Santo, but those who train with him know him as Coach Mike. He's the owner of LIVFIT here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. As a personal trainer, it's his passion to help his clients reach their optimum fitness levels. When we come back, we'll hear from Coach Mike. So Coach Mike, what got you started in the fitness industry?
So it was a long journey. I started at the age of 14 in the gym with my dad. My father took me, he begged me for 2 years to go to the gym and work out. He's like, you're gonna be better at sports. I was really into basketball and football as a kid, and he's like, you're gonna be stronger if you go. And I'm like, no, I wanna be in the driveway shooting, working on my jumper, you know, and he begged me, and then finally dragged me to the gym. And the first day I was hooked. He kind of set me up to win, right? He kind of showed me, you know, you could be successful here, and so he didn't have to drag me for too many days before I figured out that was actually, it soon became much more important to me than actually playing the sports I was training for.
Nice. What inspired you to come up with your company's name?
Fitness is lifestyle. This is the second gym that I've owned, and I had always known when I was going to venture out of that first situation, I was going to change the name and go with something that spoke to what we do here. And it's really kind of preaching the gospel of fitness as a lifestyle and something you have to work on every day. I'm a firm believer that fitness is not owned. You rent it, and you got to pay dues every day, or you can lose it very fast. So that's kind of the thought process behind it. What
are some services that you offer?
So we offer personal training, one-on-one personal training, small group personal training, so one to four people, and then group classes. Group classes is really, that's the kind of the tribe element that I was speaking about. We've got 4 classes roughly a day that are up to 12 people in size, and that's on purpose too. We cap our classes at 12 so that the coach to athlete ratio is reasonable, manageable, to where people are able to I'm able to have a conversation with everybody in the room every single day, and that lets me feel like I can touch everyone in a way that they get just a little bit better as the days go by.
Right. How can individuals interested in physical training begin their career in the field?
I think if someone wants to do what I do, that the best thing they could do is join a community like mine, and kind of even do what I did, the route that I took of failing at multiple places and trying to learn from different types of leadership. I've taken little bits and pieces from all of those different mentors, right? Whether they knew they were a mentor or not, right? Accidentally. Some of them weren't good, right? Some of them were, and taught me some things that I still hold true. Even a lot of my coaching comes from my law enforcement career, and that teaching and how I speak to people came from that environment. So never looking at a situation like you can't learn from it will lead to the path you want to be on.
Wow, that's powerful. You mentioned that you had to fail a lot to get to where you are today. Can you talk to us about some of your failures and how you overcame those?
One of my bigger failures was really accidental, and my son was born, this is 11 years ago. He was born with an illness that it completely derailed everything in my life at the time, to where I had to leave my job. I was home all day and doing my best to take care of him during this time, and I really lost myself. I stopped exercising for really the first time in my life, and before I knew it, it was over a course of 4 to 5 months, I probably gained almost 50 pounds. And it was a lot of fast food, and it was a lot of mindless choices, and I was depressed, and I was depressed as a result of my situation, that I was then making myself more depressed through the choices that I made. And having battled through that, when people meet me, I don't think they probably would ever guess that I had been down that road, that I've been to the bottom. I remember going to the local Y and being embarrassed to be there in the shape that I was in, and walking in with a hoodie over my head, and walking on the treadmill at first, because that's where I was at. I was not in good shape. I wasn't able to do pull-ups. I wasn't anywhere where I used to be or where I am now. Unrecognizable, really. And that experience was huge for me in being understanding and able to encourage those that are starting in that spot.
Wow, that's powerful. Taking a negative and turning it into a positive.
Exactly.
So there's a quote on your website that says, "The gym doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you deserve. You have to work for it." C.T. Fletcher. Why did you choose that?
I'm a huge C.T. Fletcher fan, and that if you know anything about him, or if you don't, look him up on YouTube and go back to the old stuff and see what he's about. He's a rough guy, tough guy, but someone that clearly cares about other people and the successes of other people. And he's been in the game a very long time, and people like that I respect. Somebody who also he's long time had struggles. I believe he's had a heart transplant at this point now. But that quote really kind of sums up how I think about everything. Nothing will be given to you. Everything has to be worked for, and that work should be hard. If you're pursuing something of extreme importance and value, it will be hard to achieve. And that's the reason why that quote's there. I want people to know when they're coming in the door, after they look at my website, kind of an idea of what my expectation will be.
Right.
And it will be that you work hard. It will be that you don't quit.
We hope you've enjoyed today's profile of LIVFIT and Coach Mike. If you're interested in learning more about how to become a personal trainer, make sure you email him at livefit615@icloud.com. And also, don't forget to check out LIVFIT's website at livfitborough.com. We'll see you next time.